Hey guys, it's Todd. I want to take just a few minutes here and talk about everyday carry items, or EDC. There are tons of videos on YouTube about them, and I laugh at most of the ones that I look at. Let's be realistic, people, okay? Hey, you don't need to carry 4 guns with 6 backup knives, the nunchucks, and the brass knuckles, okay? Let's be realistic. I get a good chuckle every time I watch those videos, so that's why I felt the need to make this video. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that for self-defense and protection of yourself and your family, it's very important to have guns and ammunition and weapons and that sort of tactical type of things. But you know what? You're not going to need to carry all this stuff around with you. If you have a gun permit, okay, and you want to carry a gun, okay, and you're good with it, and it makes you feel safe, okay, carry a gun. But I don't think you need 4 or 5 of them on you at all times with backup knives and that sort of thing, and nunchucks and brass knuckles. So let's get back down to earth here. If you are carrying all this stuff, you know, 20, 30, 40 items with you every day, I believe that you might be at a level of help beyond anything that you could actually carry with you, and I suggest that you seek out that help. But back here on earth, let's look at some things that are more realistic, okay? What do I carry with me? Okay, well, I believe you should have a wallet. Identification for EMT, law enforcement, military. You should have medical information in here about yourself. Allergies, special medical conditions for EMT, hospital people. You should have emergency contact in here. A wallet. Of course, extra money in case you're in an event where you do need to purchase something and you're in a situation where you can purchase food, water, or whatever you might need, okay? That's good to have. Definitely an everyday carry item. A knife. It's important to have a knife. I'm not going to go through and tell you all the hundreds of uses for a knife. I'm just going to tell you, hey, it's important to have one. I prefer this Gerber that I've had for, you know, over 10 years, and it does everything that I could need it to do. And, you know, a knife, a good knife is important to have. A multi-tool. You can't carry a tool bag around with you in all reality, so a multi-tool is important. I prefer the Gerber suspension multi-tool myself. This has wire cutters, pliers, scissors, saws, files, flathead, Phillip head, can opener, bottle opener, knife blades, pretty much any type of tool that you could use to get you out of a situation or to help you in a situation that you may be in. Some people prefer the Swiss Army knife, you know, that has a lot of the similar things. Either way is fine. I just happen to prefer this. I like the way everything fits together, and again, it fits right on my belt. So it's important to have a multi-tool. What else? Well, guess what? Sometimes it gets dark. You can't rely on electricity. You might be in a situation where you need a light source. If you don't have one, you're out of luck. So it's a good idea to have one. Why spend $200–300 on one of those fancy tactical military police officer type of flashlights when you can spend $10 on a Black & Decker? You know, it's metal, it's got a case, it's got a clip, push button, LED, bright. Hey, it's a light source. It's very bright. It works. A light source is important to have because eventually it's going to get dark. Fire, 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 fire. You got to have a source of fire. You know how important it is. I could go 30–40 minutes talking about the importance of fire. Not just for a light source, but for warmth, for cooking, for boiling water. You know, so have a form of ignition, whatever your preferred form of ignition may be. You might be the old flint and steel type of person, or you might be the ferro rod, you know, magnesium, you know, whatever. I like to keep it simple. This is a, I think it's a Storm or a Solo or something like that. It's metal, it's waterproof, it's got a compass on it, which is good. You push the button, very intense flame. It has a mirror in here for signaling. You know, so make sure that you have a source of fire, whatever your preferred source of fire may be, because you're going to need it. If you don't, hey, doesn't hurt to have it. Let's see, what else? Keys. Keys are very important. I have this, fits on my belt. Sometimes I keep them in my pocket, but it's important to keep your keys on yourself at all times. This key gets me into my truck. in my truck I have enough equipment and another bag that I could survive on for a year, not a year, I'm sorry, for a week or two or even more if I needed to. And those aren't things that I'm going to carry on my person every day, but I do have access to them. Hey, guess what? This key gets me into my house, where again I have access to equipment that I could survive on for weeks or more. Things like weapons and ammunition and clothing and cooking and shelter and food and all that stuff. I've got enough stuff in my truck, like I say, to survive on for a long period of time if I need to. Last thing that I carry, and I don't really like them, but that's the cell phone. You won't see me talking on it for pleasure, but it is convenient if it is working and I do have a signal. It's more convenient to dial 911 and get help as opposed to walking, 10, 15, 20 miles or hoping somebody happens to come along. So anyway, recap. Realistically, people, what are you going to carry on you every day? It's important to have a wallet. It's important to have a knife. It's important to have some tools. It's important to have a light source. It's important to have a fire source and an emergency phone source if you can. And again, access to long-term survival items. Some people call them bug-out bags, whatever, So anyway, I know some of you are probably going to disagree with what I've said here, and you might have different items that you carry every day, and hey, you know what? This is America, and it's a great place. You have every right to disagree with me on these items, and I respect that right. But I hope for the most part that you've enjoyed the video. I look forward to reading your comments. Look for my other videos that will talk about my truck bag and my home bag that go into more depth about long-term survival items like first aid, shelter, food, clothing, water, that sort of thing. And I look forward to comments on those as well. I hope you've enjoyed the video and have a great day.